Now, Venezuela has had a presence in every World Baseball Classic, and some of their all-time great players have participated in this tournament, from Abreu to Ordonez to the Panda. Pablo, he was here yesterday watching his countryman Felix Hernandez threw out a ceremonial first pitch earlier in this tournament. I think King Felix is here today as well. Just a great baseball tradition in Venezuela, and they have been the best team in the toughest pool in the first round of the World Baseball Classic. They're going to be the visiting team here for their final game in pool play. And the starting lineup for Venezuela, a couple changes. Interesting. Maybe we'll talk about this, whether this is a test to see how it looks going forward. Santander has been so good, moves up into the #2 spot in the order. Gleyber Torres is the DH. Salvi Perez is the catcher today, at least for the start of the game. Acuna moves down to 5th. Jimenez Suarez over at first base. Escobar and David Peralta.
Yeah, well, we talk about Anthony Santander, 14 total bases, second most in this World Baseball Classic. He'll be facing Robert Stock, guy who likes to throw that fastball cutter, change up to lefties, to righties is more that fastball cutter slider. I'm excited to watch him. Second time through. I know he's been 9-10, 3.60 with the KBO League. And let's take a look at the pitch arsenal for Robert Stock. We know about that four-seamer, that slider, change-up, sinker that he likes to use, but the cutter's going to be a big denominator for these left-handers. Look for him to just try to get as many quick outs as possible. That's going to be the role. We've talked about how many pitchers Team Israel has used, 17 so far. They can get 2 innings, 2 1/3, 2 2/3. I think that's a win for Stock.
So here we go. Final chance for Israel to play. They've been eliminated. They will not be advancing to the quarterfinals. So their last game in this year's World Baseball Classic. They have guaranteed a spot the next time the World Baseball Classic rolls around. They will not finish last in this tough pool. So I think that's at least something they can take away from this year's tournament. Altuve and then Santander and Gleyber Torres against the right-hander Stock. Here we go. Final day of pool play in Miami. And it's ball one with a hard slider.
Right out of the chute. Well, we know Jose likes to ambush. So I think that was a smart, wise decision right there.
Groove one, first pitch of the game. Altuve's going to swing at it. That was a good one.
It's not one pitch he doesn't like. You talk about Jose Altuve early in his career. I mean, he was swinging at everything. And even last year, 2022, he 10% of the time for walks. More than not, though, he's swinging. About 31% of the time when he's up to bat, he's swinging. That's a high rate.
First pitcher for Israel to make a second appearance. They've used 17 different pitchers already here in Miami. We'll see some others make their second appearances today for Ian Kinsler. One pitcher has not been in the tournament yet, and Israel's determined to use him today. So everybody gets a chance to pitch. There's a strike to Altuve, full count 3-2.
Yeah, we think it will be a bullpen day once again.
Jake Fishman is the one guy who hasn't been in a game, and we will see him this afternoon. 3-2 to Altuve. That is just off the outside. Good take from Altuve to draw the leadoff walk. Defense for Israel does look a little different here today. Horwitz, Goldfarb, not Jock Peterson, at least for now, in center field. Alex Dickerson out in right. Bedlinger, Wielansky, Geloff, and Mervis, and then Lavarnway, the veteran catcher, for Robert Stock. Stock pitched last year yonder in Korea and did a good job over there. Signed a minor league deal with the Brewers a couple months ago. Based on the way he threw the other day, he closed out their win against Nicaragua. There's Jock Peterson. I think we may see him in this.
I think so too.
Game a little bit later. But based on the way Robert Stock looked, he looked like a guy who might be able to help Milwaukee at some point. Another hit for Santander. Gosh, what a tournament he is having.
And you talk about using the lower half, how crisp he's been so far in this tournament. Wants to throw him a little cutter right here, little backdoor cutter. Look how still he stays with his lower half. I mean, that's a guy that really trusts his body, really trusts where he's at right now with his swing. I mean, it is short, quick, and crisp.
105 miles an hour off the bat. I'd be smiling too. As locked in as he is,
You know you're locked in when you hit the baseball and there's no urgency in getting out of the box. I mean, it's hit the ball, stay there, look at it. Okay, I know it's a rocket, it's a base hit. Okay, now I can go to first base. That's a good feeling.
So 2 on, nobody out. Venezuela trying to jump ahead early here with Gleyber Torres. He's had a quiet World Baseball Classic so far. Breaking ball from Stock, the slower breaking ball. It's 0-2.
Just trying to slow him down right there. You know, that Gleyber, when he's going bad, he's leaking. That left hip is leaking completely. Trying to rush him here.
On the ground to short. Could be a double play. There's one. The throw to first. Got him double play. Wasn't hit all that hard, so that was a pretty nice turn by Israel. 2 down.
Yeah, and I think it started just with the shortstop. It was a quick feed. Watch this feed. Look how he uses his legs, his momentum to use that toss. Right there. Right, so once he gives him a good feed, then the rest is just all about arm strength. We know Gelov has a really good arm at second base, but I think for me it starts with 1. You get 1 and then you worry about 2. Being clean with the toss is ideal. Just a really good double play right there by Israel.
0-1.
So now Salvi Perez, 2 down runner at third. The double play ball helping give Robert Stock a chance to get through this first inning.
You got to be careful with Salvi. Likes to ambush on hitters count. You got to be soft with him. That's a good strike right there. He's a guy that he'll pick and choose his battles, you may say, or saying, okay, I'm gonna hunt a window here. I'm gonna hunt a zone here. If he gets it, watch out.
Yikes. Came in and hit him. You could hear it. It got him on that elbow guard, but still.
Yeah, it still hurts. I think he'll be fine. He's taken some nicks throughout his career.
That's nothing for him.
Just another day.
That's why you wear that thing.
Oh, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He's always laughing, though.
So another base runner. 3 of the 4 for Venezuela in this first inning have reached base safely against Stock. And Ronald Acuna Jr. just 1 for 11.
0-1.
Not been his normal self at the plate.
Now, one of the things I'm noticing with Acuna is, when he's taking pitches, everything's a little bit too hard. His landing is a little too hard. You want to feel like that leg in the front leg has got an egg underneath it, and when you land on it, you don't want to crack the egg. That's how soft you want to be. The softer you are, the better you're going to see the ball. The eyes don't move as much. You can have all the space you want with your hands. So everything starts with your lower half right now, and he's just being a little bit too aggressive with it.
Oh no!
Caught in
Ready to
between,
go. No.
did not swing. So he managed to hold up. It's 2-1.
See that take right there is yes, 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 and right at the last second, aboard. That's a better landing. I always focus on Acuna's front leg. If he's landing hard, we're in trouble. If he's soft, like right there, we're good.
Base hit right field. And that'll knock in the first run of the game. So Acuna flips one into right. It's 1-0 Venezuela.
When the not good hitters are going to find their stroke, and how do you do it? You got to go the other way. You got to kind of jam yourself, sacrifice that bat. Good things happen when you go the other way, as we see here, this little two-seamer trying to tie up Acuna, staying behind that baseball. Good hitters just find a way to get it done. I want to talk about this soft landing. Look at his front foot. Look how soft it is. It's soft, and then he explodes off of it. Usually when it's strong like that, it's just he lands in his swing. There's no pause into it. When it's soft, you can land, you can read, you can use your eyes, and then you can make the movement that you want towards the baseball. Right there, he did a good job.
So a run across for Venezuela, their second hit. They've also had a walk and a hit batter in this first inning. Andres Jimenez, left-handed hitter. Topper foul. Much different inning, obviously, for Robert Stock than when he just blew away Nicaragua. He did it so quickly to finish out their win in their first game in pool play. Acuna hoping to have a chance to show off his speed, get ready to run over at first base.
Always fun.
Oh,
ouch. You know, it's not just the catcher that takes a beating back there. I mean, that got the hand right there. Home plate umpire Andy Fletcher.
8-second rule.
That's how long it hurts. Only hurts for 8 seconds.
Keep telling yourself that. Another foul ball. Andy still trying to shake out his right arm. That got him. Fletcher, Hernandez, Tibabijo, and Pissarro, the umpires today. Well, for Robert Stock, this has been a tough inning. This next pitch will be number 24.
Mostly fastball cutters. I mean, he hasn't really shown a changeup, no curveballs, which he does have in the bag.
Maybe one curveball, one slow curve mixed in.
Yeah.
Well, another one not to the location. Lavarnway just couldn't keep it around home plate. The lead runner Salvi Perez moves to third. Acuna didn't see it. He stays over at first.
That's a good heads up right there on Salvi at second base. For Acuna, it's a tougher read. You know, you got the left-handed hitter. Times you kind of read it late. You don't know the depth of it, where Salvi at second base has a much better angle to see that ball really got away from Lavarnway.
Full count here, 3-2. Acuna runs, and it's ball four, just a little bit high. Another walk.
I got to slow him down here. You got to take a mound visit. I mean, this has become kind of a snowball here for Stock.
You feel for Ian Kinsler, because I think the whole idea of using Stock in the first inning, he was their closer in game one. The whole idea was, hey, we need to get off to a good start against a really talented team. Let's get a quick, clean inning and get to the plate. And obviously that has not happened.
Well, I think you're obviously facing the toughest opponent here in this pool, right? They're 3-0. They knew it was going to be a battle today. But you still got to get your work in. You still got to go out there and, you know, throw through the glove, make your pitches.
Now Eugenio Suarez yesterday had just some excellent at bats. Venezuela played a pesky Nicaraguan team that hung around in that game.
That's a very good word right there. I mean, that's just who Nicaragua was.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one right there, especially after a mound visit.
Make your pitching coach look good.
Yeah, very good.
There's nothing worse than a mound visit and the very next pitch gets hit hard somewhere or throws to the backstop. That does not make the pitching coach look good. Line drive right field, and that's a base hit for Suarez. Dickerson cuts it off. That's not going to matter. Perez scores. Acuna right behind him. 3-0 Venezuela.
Well, we've seen in this inning Santander, we've seen Acuna, and now we're seeing Suarez using the whole field. Good hitters will always use the whole field. Good hitters will like to get jammed. Good hitters in scoring and runners in scoring position, oh, they feast off of that. And that's what we've seen here. I mean, we've seen an absolute clinic on how to hit the ball the other way. See Suarez right here, not trying to do too much, getting a little two-seamer that just leaks over the plate. He understands there is no fear for the ball inside. It's like they know that Stock can't locate inside. So for them, it's just letting the ball travel and using the bigger part of the field. Great piece of hitting.
Strike one to Eduardo Escobar. He's got such massive power, Eugenio Suarez. It's fun to watch a guy who's got that power hit like that.
Absolutely.
Not just an all or nothing kind of hitter. He's got 5 runs batted in now in this tournament already, Eugenio Suarez. And for Venezuela, such an advantageous start here. Israel, for 2 straight games, has not been able to get anything going offensively.
Nothing. How about Escobar's shoes? I mean, those are some really nice, clean cleats he's got on right now. I mean,
here we go. Let's see him.
Look at that.
You're the shoe guy. I'm trusting your judgment on that.
I mean, they are nice.
He's from the back. There we go. Now that's the.
That's where.
All right.
Things change once you see the backside of it.
It is. You got to get all perspectives.
It's like, what do they say? Serious in the front, party in the back. Yeah, that's serious in the front, party in the back.
It's the mullet version of cleats. Strike 3 called. Business in the front, party in the back. 3 runs for Venezuela. All right, the Israel team needs to get its offense going. Jacob Goldfarb moves into that leadoff spot. He's the center fielder. Horwitz, Geloff, Mervis, Lavarnway, Dickerson, Valencia, Mendlinger, and Wielansky, the 9th place hitter and shortstop for Israel against a young left-hander, Jesus Luzardo, who last year, he's always been touted. He's always had a lot of talent. He's a member of the Miami Marlins. This is his home ballpark. And last year, late in the year, something clicked.
Yeah, something clicked. I mean, look at Luzardo's numbers right there, which is a 4.7332 ERA, but really something clicked August, September. I mean, this dude was just filthy. 96, 97 miles an hour. A really good changeup that he likes to use to right-handers, a good slider curve mix that he likes to use to the lefties, but you know, ultimately it starts with that fastball. He likes to locate that fastball up in the zone, like right there. Likes to work down and away with it. This is the dude that I think, for me, the reason the Marlins traded Lopez away was because of this dude and what they saw of him in August and September. I mean, it didn't matter if it was a left-hander or a right-hander. He was making people look very, very bad.
Could have gotten the call there at 98. So it's 2-1 to Jacob Goldfarb. Israel looking for a spark offensively against a guy who can be really tough to hit. Again, not getting that high strike from Andy Fletcher. Those 2 pretty good pitches. So the count is 3-1. Before the game, Omar Lopez, the manager of Venezuela, said this is likely the only appearance they'll get out of Luzardo.
What's outside?
Another close pitch, but that's a ball. It's a walk for Israel. They'll take it. A base runner to start the game.
Curveball fastball combo is the one that he likes to go to.
One hopper to third. We'll see if they can turn 2. That's one nice turn at second, and it is a double play.
We talked about that 4-seam he likes to go with, but this is the 2-seamer. This is the one pitch he likes to ride on these left-handers to get him to jam. There was a 1-hopper to Escobar. Got to make sure of 1 perfect strike. Jimenez does the rest to clean it up with Suarez. I mean, just a really good pitch. 1 pitch, 2 outs. I'll trade it any day of the week.
Jimenez, who's used to playing second base, was playing over near the bag on the shift, so he was the guy who made the turn, and he looked very natural doing that. Strike 1 to Zach Geloff. A little cruel for Israel. They've had such a hard time getting base runners. They finally draw a walk to start the game. 1 pitch later, 2 down, nobody on.
Unfortunate. I mean, they're facing a tough, not only a tough candidate today on the mound in Luzardo, but just a really good hitting team.
Yeah, and a changeup made Zach Geloff look bad. That was nasty. So, good first inning for Venezuela. That's an understatement. It's 3-0. Close. Beautiful morning outside today. Venezuela and Israel, the first of 2 games. This is the last day with 2 games. As the 9th place hitter for Venezuela, David Peralta, takes a strike. Robert Stock still on the mound. Venezuela gets 3 runs in the top of the first. The undefeated team in Pool D off and running again.
You know, that's what it's been like. It feels like they just really, it's early and often, and once they have the lead, they just continue to pound.
Stock, meanwhile, has just had a hard time with his command. He gave up 3 singles in the first inning, but also 2 walks and a hit batter.
Right
there on the outside. It's 2-2.
Yeah, I think for Lavarnway right there, catcher. He had no other place but to go back to the breaking ball. I mean, they've been hammering the two-seamers, especially in the first inning.
Peralta, high drive right field. Dickerson on the warning track. One away. David Peralta swung the bat well.
Yeah.
Just missed one.
Just missed that slider right there. Kind of rolled off his barrel a little bit. Didn't really square it up. A little under it. It was a really good swing. I mean, it's always nice to get a breaking ball first at bat, hit it to the warning track like that. That's always a good sign to come in the later part of the game.
So here's Altuve. It's funny, Jose Altuve is only 2 for 10. He's drawn a walk in this game and scored a run. Feels like he's had more of an impact than that.
Well, he'll give you a tough at bat, and he's, like I like to say, he's already in scoring position.
Little guy, plenty of power. 2-0. And it's we've mentioned it a few times this week, but he still kind of has that reputation of a guy who's going to swing at everything. And when he was a young player, he was a hacker in a good way. I mean, he was really good at it, but his approach has refined over the years. He is a more selective hitter now.
Although last year he swung a little bit more than normal, but yes, he'll work the count. He'll like he's doing right now. I like those are two borderline pitches. Could have gone either way. It could have been a 3-1 count. Now all of a sudden you're at 2-2 and you said, okay, velocity's not going to beat me. Got to choke up a little bit, see the ball deep. Throws me a breaking ball, I'll be all over it.
That is just a little bit high.
Barnway has done a really good job kind of reading the hitters as much as he can throughout the at-bat, especially in this inning. Got to be careful.
3-2, fouled away.
Oh, that's why Altuve is so good.
Yeah,
being able to do that right there. Not a pitch he was looking for, kind of more of a Robert Stock's pitch. Says, you know what? I'm just going to spoil this. I'm going to give myself another look at another pitch. I mean, that's art in itself right there. Not being sure if it's going to be a strike or not. But again, he just does that, extends the at-bat. That is hard to do. Not everybody, folks, not everybody can do that in the game of baseball. That's a skill.
He's a big reason why. This is the 10th hitter of the game for Venezuela, and Robert Stock is about to throw his 44th pitch. And Altuve's seen a lot of those. Strike 3 called. I give Stock some credit for never giving in. Gets his second strikeout.
Well, that's absolutely painted right there on that two-seamer. Look at that comeback right there. That's a really good pitch right there. So he flirted with a few of those to Altuve early on, but Altuve was able to spoil. But right there, that was a good pitch. So far, though, much better inning for Robert Stock.
Now he's got to deal with this guy who just is. I think you said it earlier. This guy does not want a day off.
No.
He wants to be in there. He's swinging the bat so well.
Oh yeah.
Another hit today.
Ooh.
Pops that one up. Foul, third base side, and along the netting. The room to make the catch. Nice play, Medlinger.
Very good play.
That's not easy. Santander makes it out. That's news when that happens. Good play by the third baseman for Israel. Teammate on Team Venezuela. First pitch from Luzardo, and Matt Mervis drives one out to right center field. It'll be Santander. No problem.
Look at Acuna right there. He says, oh my goodness, what just happened there? They're all having a good chuckle about it now, but I mean, that was hit in that triangle circle right there. Like that triangle circle.
I'm trying to figure that one out, but I'm going with it.
It's just the Yonderisms, man. I just can't help myself. But for all we know, I mean, luckily nobody got hurt. Santander was able to make that play.
That's the main thing. So he did catch it. Mervis with a pretty good swing. Now Lavarnway fouls one back.
That's a healthy cut right there. You know, you're talking about a guy who, Lavarnway, he's seen Luzardo from the Oakland A's days. So
got a lot of big league experience over the years. Never was really an everyday kind of player. Lavarnway has also become a hero of sorts for baseball in Israel, because he was the MVP of the pool that Israel won back in 2017, the last World Baseball Classic. He played really well in the Olympics for Israel. But that changeup right now, I mean, he's not the only one who's being fooled by that pitch.
Doesn't matter if you're a right-hander or left-hander. I mean, it's all about control. Look how he turns this changeup around. And that's knee-high, quality pitch after quality pitch. Luzardo's got it going on early now.
Pretty exciting to think about the possibilities for this guy for a full season. Figured something out. He's been talented. He's had his moments, but at the end of last year, he was just awesome, and he looks pretty darn good here
I think
today.
When I was watching Luzardo early on in his career, it was a guy that just had the quality stuff, right? Had the 90, 87, the good changeup. Just didn't know how to put away guys. Didn't know how to kind of set people up, set hitters up. Well, right now he's certainly doing that. And I think last year, at the end of last year, he really learned how to do that. And it was one of those things where it's like, okay, I can set this guy up if I throw this pitch, but not just in the first at bat. I can set him up in the third at bat of the game when I really need him to ground out or I need a big strikeout. So he's developed not only physically but also mentally.
Alex Dickerson, line drive, base hit left field. So Israel is having some better swings and at bats here against a guy with great stuff. The last couple games, their offense has been non-existent.
Well, it's not one fastball that Dickerson doesn't like to swing at. Gets that nice little two-seamer right there. Hard of the plate. Dickerson didn't try to do too much right there. Look how short he is to this baseball. It's just tap it. Let the velocity do all the work. The harder they throw, the less harder I'm going to swing. That's a good piece of hitting right there.
They'd had one hit in 52 plate appearances before that one as a team. One. They've only scored 3 runs total in this World Baseball Classic. So obviously it's a big hill to climb here today. Already down 3-0. Danny Valencia hasn't had a hit yet himself. Ahead of the count, 2-0.
I want to see Luzardo challenge him right here. You're up 3-0. Got that 98, 99. You got to trust it. Go baby cutter right there. The 2-1 count is usually a good changeup count for Luzardo. He's gone a little bit soft on Valencia here, but
Valencia, line drive, base hit. Back-to-back hits.
I think for me, the changeup play and the slider play it's not the play to go to. I mean, you got to trust the 98, the 99. You see that changeup right there? He turns it around. Valencia does a good job right there, getting his knock. Be interesting to see Luzardo here, especially in 2 outs, 2-out situations. It's more of a learning curve for him right now, and for Team Venezuela to kind of see what he's got.
Went with that 97-mile-an-hour fastball and blew it right by Noah Medlinger. Noah's just 22 years old, part of the Cardinals organization. Opportunity here for Israel. They haven't had many of those the last couple of games. 2 on, 2 out. Ian Kinsler's words before the game were, okay, we know we're eliminated. We know it's been a tough tournament for us. We're going to come out and compete and try to win this game. Manage to win, play to win. We're not just going out there to get the tournament over with.
Why not, right? I mean, hey man, you got uniform on. You got 4 umpires, you got the lights, you got the fans. You owe it to yourself and you owe it to the tournament, and I think to a country that really is pulling hard for you. Why not? Play ball.
Tough spot here for Mendlinger, behind in the count. Pulls it, foul. Yeah, I think he might have broken his bat.
Venezuelan fans, they like to say, they like to shout ponche, ponche, which means strikeout, strikeout. So when they feel, talk about the fan base here, how they know the game, they watch the game. They're, you know, all these fans are just not on their phones or anything like that. They want to get them ponche right here. They're going to get strikeout right here.
They got the chant and the arm.
Chant and the arm
wave.
Yeah.
1-2. Well, they didn't get the strikeout, but they got the third out. Suarez feeds Luzardo. 2 hits, no runs for Israel. Through 2, it's 3-0 Venezuela. I do think it's played out that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Venezuela has emerged as the team that has played the best ball. Gleyber Torres, strike 1 swinging against Robert Stock, who's still in this game.
Coming into this tournament, a lot of talk on Team Rubio, a lot of talk on the Plátano powers, but no talk on the Arepa power for the Team Venezuela.
I think that's true. Of the 3, teams stocked with big league stars, Venezuela is certainly one of those, but I think they were the least talked about of those 3 teams. They're the team that is very likely to emerge without a loss.
I feel like they wanted it to be like that as well. They were quiet. Even during the press conferences, they were just quiet, normal. I talked to
Torres, pulls one into left field. That's going to be a hit for Gleyber Torres. Horowitz will scoop it up, and his throw back in keeps Gleyber Torres.
I talked to Miguel Cabrera earlier today, and he was asking me about tonight's matchup, Puerto Rico versus Dominican Republic. And I said to him, man, how great is this matchup going to be? He goes, I am so excited. And I was like, oh, what are you looking forward to watching in tonight's game? He says, that one team's going home, and we're not.
Well, in a way, the whole thing got set up. They had to face the Dominican Republic right away. So they got the head-to-head matchup against another one of those power teams in their very first game, and they were ready to go. And winning that game kind of opened up the whole thing for Venezuela.
Yeah.
Delmo Perez has had just a great week. Not just with the bat, we've seen his leadership behind the plate.
Good pitch right there. A little cutter. Just a little cement mixer. You can expand here on Salvi. He's been known to expand the strike zone.
Right center field. Goldfarb, the center fielder, makes the call on the catch.
A dangerous pitch right there with 2 strikes.
Might have gotten away with 1.
Yeah, I think Salvi knew it too. Nonetheless, though, 1 out. That's how hard it is to hit. A lot of young pitchers, I tell them all the time, hey, just watch batting practice. Look how many times these hitters roll over or they get under a baseball. And it's hard to hit in this game.
Even in batting practice.
That's why you talk about what's the hardest sport. Talk about golf being one, hockey being another. They all have their kinks, right? The baseball, man. I mean, the ball's moving. You don't know what's coming. It's not one of the hardest things to do. And by the way, you got to play it for 7 months with 12, 15 days off in the year. That's tough in itself. They all have their kinks. And
the physical grind the ability to deal with maybe not major injury, but just nagging soreness, pain, minor injuries in play is a very underrated part of the game. Right at the knees. Acuna didn't think so. Strike two.
That's a good pitch right there. How much Acuna can do.
Robert Stock, 54 pitches. He's hanging in there.
Take a look at that two-seamer. Down and away.
Acuna, who had a base hit to drive in a run in the first inning. On the ground is short. The flip to Geloff, and he'll turn the double play. It's the second one that Robert Stock has gotten in the first 3 innings. All right, so we've already had a quarterfinal game. It happened early this morning in the U.S. Back in Tokyo, of course. Cuba prevailed. Australia, what a tournament they had. Fought hard right to the end today and came up just a run short. So Cuba is coming to Miami. They will take on the winner of quarterfinal game number 3, which is going to involve Venezuela. They've already locked up the top spot in Pool D. They're going to play the runner-up from Pool C, and the winner of that game will play Cuba in a semifinal game on Sunday. We're going to have a quiz later, so to see if you're paying attention. But anyway, congratulations to Cuba for advancing, the first team that has grabbed a semifinal berth. And considering where we are, where the semifinals are going to be played here in Miami.
Yeah, this place is going to be loud, exciting. I just think this whole tournament in itself has turned out to be right. Like, everybody expected the tournament to be this way, and it has gone this way.
On the ground, base hit. Well, Michael Ilansky gets another hit for Israel. Yeah, this pool has totally lived up to its billing. If you look at the pools halfway across the world, Shohei Ohtani's been great.
All of them have.
Yeah, the pool C in Phoenix has had way more drama, I think, than people have expected. Great Britain has been more than representative. They've been extremely competitive. Mexico beat the U.S.
Oh, it's been great.
USA plays Colombia later tonight, and they control their own fate. If they win that game, they're coming here to Miami. Mexico and Canada will also play, and the winner of that game is also going to advance. If Mexico is that winner, then they would have the tiebreaker advantage over the United States, finishing with the same record, but the head-to-head win. So that would mean the USA would play Venezuela as the runner-up in a quarterfinal game.
That would be that's going to be insane if that happens.
If Canada wins, then Canada lost to the U.S. They would be the runner-up team, and that's the team that Venezuela would get.
Huh. A lot is at stake today.
Correct. But nowhere is there more at stake than here later tonight. And that, I think, you know, the point you're making about how this tournament so far has lived up to everything you would hope that a World Baseball Classic would give you. What more could you possibly ask for than Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, head-to-head, winner moves on, loser goes home. Runner goes here, and a ball hit foul. And that's what we get tonight.
And I think for me, even watching how this pool turned itself over, we knew it was going to come down to those 3 teams, right? It could have easily been Venezuela versus the Dominican,
sure,
tonight, or
correct,
Venezuela, Puerto Rico, or Puerto Rico. You know, it could have gone that way as well. Obviously, the schedule admit otherwise, but turned out the way it is. But this is going to be a lot of fun.
That's what really has been serendipitous, is that the way that the first few games laid out and played out, because the schedule was set ahead of time. Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, that was the final game of the pool. Last game tonight before quarterfinal play, and it's just turned out that those 2 teams play each other for the last spot in the quarters. And the enthusiasm from the fans here has been hard to describe. It's been that great. Tonight it'll be off the charts.
I remember watching the first game, Venezuela, Dominican, and I said, ooh, whoever wins this game really will take a stand tall on being the leader of this pool. And it sure has been that way with Venezuela winning that game and then obviously beating Puerto Rico, and now basically looking like the best team in this pool and moving forward.
Goldfarb with a good battle there, but he strikes out. 7 Eastern. I'm trying not to oversell it, but I look, those two teams, this will be the only time they both can't advance. We can't have another matchup of Puerto Rico and the Dominican. So this will be the only matchup between those two teams in this World Baseball Classic. And this is no disrespect. Venezuela's got great fans. Cuba will have a lot of people here. Obviously, the USA is going to get great support. Mexico, if they come here, they'll have a lot of fans.
Oh, yeah.
But Puerto Rico and the Dominican, those two fan bases going head to head, I don't know that there'll be a sporting event all year with the atmosphere that we're going to get tonight.
It's going to be Game 7 like feel right during, you know, batting practice all the way through. They're going to live and die with every pitch, and that was a strike right there, and Luzardo wanted it. Salvi wanted it. The whole stadium wanted it.
2-1. Horwitz flips one foul. Spencer Horwitz had a big hit in Israel's only win. They came from behind and beat Jonathan Loaizaga and Nicaragua. It's a significant win for Israel because as long as you stay out of last in your pool, you don't have to qualify for the next World Baseball Classic. Israel's in.
Yep.
Got it with the slider, so that's a strikeout.
I mean, his stuff is just so electric. I mean, we talk about that slider. Reminds me of Francisco Liriano's slider. I mean, it's strike to ball right there. I mean, it's too late for the hitter. He's got the changeup like a Johan. He's got the slider like a Liriano, and he's got the fastball like Luzardo. 97, 98. Coming right at you. I mean, it's really some good stuff, and that's what I saw in August and September. I mean, I saw a dude who was just electric.
Oh no.
Just a little bit low to Zach Geloff.
We talked about Luzardo being a South Florida guy. I'm sure he's extremely happy to pitch for his Marlins and be here today representing his country.
Well, you said it earlier that you think the reason that the Marlins felt comfortable, because we saw Pablo Lopez a few nights ago pitch for Venezuela. I mean, Pablo Lopez's stuff is off the charts good, and pitchers like that do not often get traded. And maybe part of the reason why the Marlins felt like they could trade Pablo Lopez was the emergence of the guys on the mound here right now. 1-2.
Also got some prospects coming up as well. I know Yuri Garcia. He's a guy that they say he's the next Sandy Alcantara. I mean, he's that good. 6'8", 6'9".
Right 3 call. So 3 straight strikeouts for Luzardo. We're through 3. It's 3-0 Venezuela. Back in Miami, we go to the 4th inning. Venezuela 3-run first inning, and that has held up. 3-0 Venezuela leads. Jake Fishman pitched in AAA last year. He is the final pitcher from Israel to appear in a game of this World Baseball Classic. Ian Kinsler said he was going to make sure that he got in, and here he is.
Here he is, Jake Fishman, 4-1 with a 2.25. Pitched in Jacksonville for their AAA team. 54 strikeouts, 20 base on balls. Got a pretty good arm. Drafted by Toronto in 2016. And then went to the Miami Marlins in the Rule 5 draft in 2020.
Signed a deal with the A's in the offseason, so now he's in Oakland's organization. Whoa. First pitch is pulled foul. What's the mascot of the Jacksonville minor league team again? It's a one of the crazy ones, I think.
The Jumbo Shrimp.
Not shrimp wasn't good enough.
A jumbo.
Yeah, he had a great year for the jumbo shrimp last year. 0-1 to Jimenez. On one hop to second.
He's funky.
He is. Geloff throws him out.
Never was a fan of those submariners from the left side. I mean, that ball's coming out of second base, and you got to really hang in there. First thing that wants to leak out is that right hip, like we saw there with Jimenez, and all you can do after that is just kind of flare out the baseball. No speed, no strength behind it, no lower half strength behind it as well. All you can do is roll over for the most part. Now for the right-handers, it's a whole different animal. It's an advantage point. You get to see that pitch come all the way through the zone.
Eugenio Suarez takes a strike. I watched Javier Lopez for a lot of years in a lot of big games against a lot of great hitters, make him look really bad. A different style than this guy, but kind of the same idea, using deception, a different look,
yes,
as much as pure stuff to get the best hitters in the world out. Struck out Eugenio Suarez, who's been having one good at bat after another. So not just a specialist against lefties.
Why did they save this guy for last?
I don't know.
You see that breaking ball right there, little knuckle curve, little backdoor knuckle curve. You see Eugenio Suarez completely fooled by it after tying him up prior to that pitch. Well, you know what? The beauty of this is everybody's getting an opportunity, and you got to give a lot of credit to Ian Kinsler. Everybody's working.
Eduardo Escobar took a strike. Looking for his first hit in this World Baseball Classic. Now he's behind 0-2.
That's a good pitch right there.
I'm with you. Where's this guy been? He looks really sharp. Trying to make it a quick inning.
And just deception, kind of late, hides the ball well. See his career statistics in the minor leagues for Jake. And 2.97 ERA, Ks through 9, pretty good.
He pitched for Union College. That's D3, Division III college baseball. That's a cool story.
That's a really cool story. Hey, you got cleats on, you got an opportunity. That's all that matters. Look at him here. Backdoor curveball, we'll see.
0-2.
Outside.
Just couldn't wrap it around to that corner.
Oh, he's been going backdoor curveballs, then hard up and in. Backdoor curveballs, hard up and in. See what he tries to do here.
Another curveball, foul ball.
Talk about Escobar and how much fun he is for the Venezuelan team. You know, he's terrified of cats. And Peralta, and Eugenio Suarez, and Gleyber Torres, they've all been messing around with him in the clubhouse, bringing him fake cats and putting them in his locker. And he's been, I mean, the videos are hilarious.
Hammers that one to left center field. And it is gone! Over the left center field wall.
Well, he had his arepas today. Wasn't scared of that pitch. He saw it and his eyes just lit up. Oh, they love him. They absolutely love him. They love that swing. We've seen that many times from Escobar. What we say? Serious in the front, party in the back. Well, he came to play. He came to party with that swing. Little two-seamer just leaked away completely, and Escobar was ready for it.
You got to hit one to get it out to that part of this ballpark, and he did.
Very serious swing right there. On a line. And that ball got out of here in a hurry.
416 feet, 107 miles an hour. Oh, that.
Oh my gosh.
That
ball is gone in every ballpark.
Crushed.
There it is.
Right into the fake ivy. Peralta down the left field line, base hit, and it's going to scoot into the corner. Peralta will dig his way into second. That's a 2-out double for Venezuela.
That is so pretty. I mean, you basically, you got to hit this pitch so deep for you to do that. Look how on top of the ball he gets. Look at his hands. His hands are on top of the baseball when he's making contact. Anytime you have that, means you're very direct to the baseball. I mean, that's art right there. And when an artist paints like that, you know you're doing something well. I mean, he took that base hit the other way. He made a nice little peek to the dugout like, oh, you guys like that?
So we've seen today from Venezuela, Santander, Acuna, Suarez, his big hit, and now Peralta all use the opposite field.
Well, good hitters will hit the ball the other way. When it's a left on left like that, I mean, that's trusting your eyes, trusting your backside, being connected. Oh, I mean, it's hard to do in batting practice to hit a ball to third base on your first round. Doing it in a game like that on a slider that's tailing away from you, it's even more impressive.
Altuve up the middle. Defense had him played perfectly. And Geloff throws out Altuve. But a run, a 2-out rally. And the home run from Escobar was what got that run home. And it was crushed. 4-0 Venezuela. A couple of changes defensively for Venezuela. Altuve comes out of the game. Luis Arraez takes over at second base, and you saw Hernan Perez out in right field. His first chance to play in this World Baseball Classic. It's 4-0 in the bottom of the fourth. And Matt Mervis for Israel. First pitch swing, a slow roller toward the middle. Luis Arraez, welcome to the game.
Well, the game will find you, huh? The ball will find you, as they say. It's a nice play. A little banana peel he takes on this ball. Sets his feet, fires a strike.
And he's been playing first base. Mervis was very unhappy. Been a tough tournament for a couple of the really highly regarded young hitters for Israel, Zach Geloff and Matt Mervis, who are going to be good players. They just haven't had a lot of success here this week. Barnway to right field, base hit.
See a little quick pitch there. Barnway wasted no time on that fastball. Says, okay, throw me the fastball then. All right, I'm gonna swing.
I think Israel just wanted to get Arraez and Hernan Perez into the game. They hit one to Arraez and they hit one to right field.
Why not?
Get them involved. Well, another hit for Israel. That is a little something for them. Although now first pitch, Suarez to second one, and the return by Jimenez to first, double play. Now that was a fast inning with a hit mixed in.
It was
a double play. We go to the fifth, 4-0. Yeah, that's what they're playing for here in Miami. There's the trophy, World Baseball Classic championship on the line. And we're just days away from that championship game. Pool play is wrapping up today. In fact, the quarterfinals are already underway in Tokyo. Cuba has advanced to the semifinals. They'll be coming here to Miami. Jesus Luzardo has been outstanding. And he and Venezuela, you could use that word to describe their whole team thus far.
Yeah, so far a really good outing for him. I would think he's done. 5 strikeouts, 4 innings pitched, but we'll see if they send him back out there. You got Zach Wise, though, who pitched very well against Nicaragua on 2 innings pitched, 3 punches on 24 pitches. So that guy, I really like this kid. I mean, it's deceptive. He hides the ball well. Really good curveball. Talk about that slider usage. Almost 65% of the time with a good four-seamer, 95, 96 mile an hour, good arm. that slider.
Hernan Perez, his first at bat of the World Baseball Classic.
Welcome to the game. Curveball slider. Show me the heater, Dorn.
I'm not sure he's going to see one here. Behind 0-2. He did not, and he struck out swinging.
Made quick work of him. So curveball, slider, slider. Pretty good ones. See, take a look here at this slider. Stays up on him more than not. You're going to be underneath it. It was dangerous. It was up in the zone.
There's Gleyber Torres. Gleyber 1 for 2. Pulled that slider, ball 1.
Out of Irvine, California. He's a Bruin, went to UCLA.
Part of UCLA's national championship team when he pitched in college, Zach Weiss. First came up to the big leagues with the Reds. Hey, bounced around a little bit, but seems to have found a home with the Angels back near his hometown. So that's a team he grew up watching.
I think Gleyber's got the green light here, so gotta be careful if you're Wise.
Ahead 3-0. Got the call, friendly call from Andy Fletcher. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and that is ball 4. So Gleyber Torres draws the walk. That'd be interesting to see how Omar Lopez wants to use that DH spot once we get to the quarterfinals with Venezuela. He's got some decisions to make. It's a deep roster.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Well, we all know one thing. It's a deep roster filled with big league hitter, big league talent. You got Miguel Cabrera as one of those guys as well. Narvaez, Salvi today gets the nod. You got a lot of guys that can get the job done. A lot of professional hitters.
Some of it may purely be dictated by who's on the mound, pitching matchups, what
Correct.
you think of those individual matchups. But I mean, I know Miguel Cabrera is not the same hitter that he used to be. And he's one of the all-time greats, but he's got so much big game experience. And maybe you feel like Cabrera can be your ultimate weapon for a pinch hit at bat late in the game where you need a base hit. Maybe you keep him out of the starting lineup and save him for a spot like that.
I talked to him. I said, Miggy, you know, last year or when you first came up to last year, what was the one thing you noticed with pitchers? He says, you know, a lot of these guys throw 100 miles an hour, but they don't throw the fastball. A lot of these guys are throwing the 90, the 92 mile-an-hour cutter, the slider.
That one skied to right field off the bat of Perez. Alex Dickerson over. Makes the catch for the second out.
Says, I think for me, that's what's made it harder. You know, we're back in the day, the technology wasn't there, the StatCast wasn't there. So now they know that, hey, if you can't hit the slider, it doesn't matter if you're on a hitter's count. They're just going to keep throwing you sliders because that's what the book says. So analytics is so much, as you see Miggy there messing with Salvi, hey, you just missed that. But that's what he says has changed the most. It's like, you know, the preparation's still the same, everything's the same. It's just these pitchers now, they really got a leg up on you and what you're trying to do at the plate.
Slider to Acuna, strike 1. So Omar Lopez will be thinking about that, how to use the great Miguel Cabrera, pinch hitter. He started as the DH twice in the 4 games. So is Gleyber Torres. They've sort of split those duties. And I mean, Acuna was hitting up near the top of the order early on. Now today he's batting 5th. Does Omar Lopez like the look of this lineup? Oh, 2.
It's hard for me to see Acuna hitting 5th. I've always felt like he's the ideal leadoff hitter, because you know, one swing. I mean, and one swing doesn't mean like a base hit swing. I mean, this could be a line drive to right. This could be a foul ball that Acuna, something clicks, and then all of a sudden, watch out.
Acuna, maybe that's the click. Base hit center field. Around second, heading for third, and the relay throw is not going to be made. So Gleyber Torres all the way to third. Second hit of the day for Ronald Acuna.
That's a good piece of hitting right there, getting that breaking ball, staying through the baseball. You know, we've seen it today, how soft he is with his landing. You notice how soft he is with his landing, because the first at bat he got a fastball, was able to hit it. Second time now he's got this breaking ball and was able to stay through it. That just tells me that he's slowing everything down, as we see that side swing right there. Once he lands, look at there's a mini pause. When he lands and there's a mini pause with no hesitation with his backside, that means you're seeing the baseball and everything is in cruise control. I always felt, would tell young guys, you don't want to swing at 100%. You want to swing at 80%. Because when you're at 80%, you're in control. When you're at 100, well, good luck. I mean, you might catch up to one, maybe not, maybe you will.
That is not cruise control. That's gas pedal down for Ronald Acuna. He steals on the very first pitch.
That's why I like him at the leadoff spot, because of that. He gets a base hit all of a sudden now. He's second and third with 2 outs. What a huge, huge jump.
Ryan LaVarnway really just had no chance. So now 2 in scoring position. Venezuela already leading 4-0. Luis Rengifo is the hitter in place of Jimenez. So Rengifo getting a chance to hit.
Ooh, that's a good cutter right there. On a fastball count, I think for me, best pitch in baseball is a changeup on a hitter's count. But that cutter is effective if it's well located. See Acuna when he's running, man, it's like so much fun to watch when he's running.
There are very few players in the world with the all-around package of just natural ability that Ronald Acuna has. Rengifo, another one down and in, strike 2.
Talking to Carlos Baerga last night, and we were talking about 5 tool players in the game today. And we both said it at the same time. Well, you got to count on Acuna. I mean, it is electric. Any day you can go to the ballpark and see something special out of Acuna.
It's pretty. If you're strict about your definition of a 5-tool player, a true 5, it's a pretty short list.
It really is.
1-2. Weiss strikes out his Angels teammate. That wasn't real nice. Rengifo goes down. Venezuela threatens but does not score. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of World Baseball Classic Inc. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Did you know that it's spring break week here in Miami? Did you know that?
It's spring break, baby.
Those beaches are crowded.
When are they not?
So is the espresso stand.
Cafecito. We didn't have our cafecito.
We didn't have it today.
Yonder secret stuff.
So if you've noticed that we're a little lower energy, now you know why. Rengifo stays in the game to play left. Peralta goes over to right. Hernan Perez comes from the outfield to play shortstop, and we got a new catcher. First time in the tournament. We've seen Robinson Chirinos.
One.
And talk about a guy that, you know, he reminds me of my days in Texas. This guy, it just felt like when you were thinking breaking ball, it was fastballs coming. When it was fastballs, it was breaking balls coming. He sure does his homework in Chirinos.
2.
Talking about Emmanuel De Jesus on the mound right now.
That's the other change. We were going to get to him. I was too busy changing my defensive sheet. Sorry, Emmanuel. Two and 1.
First time in the World Baseball Classic appearance. He played last season with the Giants, AAA team.
I mean, I knew that, of course. Now he's in the Marlins organization.
Oh, that's a good fastball right there, down and away.
So if he gets to the big leagues this year, this will be his home ballpark. Nice job today by Jesus Luzardo.
He was impressive.
Big chopper to short. Hernan Perez moves from the outfield to the infield.
Well, how about this, huh? He's a rookie. They gotta haze him a little bit. Little fun.
I bet you he'll never forget.
You know, they'll do that, and then, all right, here we go, man. We got your back. Let's go. I'm gonna die for you. I'm gonna do everything possible to make sure you get a clean inning. There's nothing fun, more fun than that right there. Clubhouse talk and the stuff that happens in the dugout.
Make him feel like he's a part of the team. A big bouncer from Noah Mendlinger right over the head of Escobar, the third baseman, and that's a base hit.
Escobar saying, I needed to be about 6'5" to be able to catch, have any chance of that. You know, we've seen a lot of those in this tournament, a lot of high choppers. Yeah, he had no chance.
Something to just keep in mind as we go toward the quarterfinals and then the semis in the champ game, which will be played, of course, in this ballpark. That clay in front of home plate, it's pretty firm.
It is.
It's got a fast turf field here anyway, and then you get the hard clay in front of the plate. Wilansky, the shortstop, right-handed hitter, takes the ball.
Yesterday, Julio Rodriguez hit a double on.
He got a double. He hit one 5 feet in front of home plate. He hit one into the ground literally 5 feet in front of home plate, and he got a double out of it. Well, 5 hits for Israel. That's something considering the way their last 2 games had gone. That one is toward right center, but slicing back to Peralta.
That's a good piece of hitting right there. Just somebody there.
Israel has not hit a home run.
They have not.
So they're the only team in this Pool D that hasn't gone deep.
And they've got the guys.
They do actually. We thought maybe the strength of their lineup would be, hey, they got the power to hit a few home runs. Maybe can surprise somebody by taking a couple pitchers deep. Jock Peterson not in the game today. That one is hit high and deep down the right field line. Hooking foul.
I mean, you got a guy in Matt Mervis with 36 home runs. Guy like Elof with 18 homers. I mean, LeVarnway, who's done his thing. Dickerson. You got guys. Valencia.
Yeah.
And there are some guys that definitely can slug. They've also ran into some pretty good pitching.
Did you think that I talked it into existence there when the ball left the bat?
Oh,
I mean, you are a legend.
Oh, no,
I
that's
think it's possible.
I was, when he hit it, I thought, huh? But it was plenty foul.
I mean, we were talking about Duque on his performance for Nicaragua, and you were saying, hey, somebody's got to sign this guy, and look what happened.
That's true.
Legend.
We want Duque Ebert to get his full contract, but we also want the Tigers to give us a finder's fee. We don't want to take away from Duque.
He was fantastic. What a story.
I'm calling Scott Harris when this is over.
Get him on the line.
1-2.
Oh,
got it. So Goldfarb strikes out, a hit, but no runs. We will go to the 6th in Miami. It's 4-0. Both teams came in with huge championship aspirations. 2 of the true favorites in this tournament, and 1 will not be advancing after tonight's game. 7 Eastern. Eugenio Suarez leading off for Venezuela. They're advancing. In fact, they've already locked up the top speed. Suarez cranks one deep left center field. Gone.
Areva power on full display. Mr. Eugenio Suarez. Good swings all day. Wow. We've seen 2 balls hit to that left center gap. That's probably the farthest part of this field. And so far, Team Venezuela is making this field look tiny. As soon as it left the bat.
I mean, it's not easy to hit a ball out to that part of the ballpark. Eduardo Escobar's done it, and Escobar this time off the end of the bat to right field for round number 1. Now Eugenio Suarez has done it. His swing looks great.
Little breaking ball right there. Got it out in front. Oh man, look how controlled he is with his lower half. As soon as he hit it, he knew that ball was absolutely torched. Look at this. Look how simple it is on his lower half. Look how he stays locked as soon as he hits it. Oh, got him. Yeah, he knew it.
Tell you what, the MVP race in this pool was already complicated enough. I think we got another candidate. Eugenio Suarez, he leads Venezuela with 6 runs batted in. Home run for him. Pitching change for Israel. Back right after this. Another home run for Venezuela. Final game in pool play for these 2 teams, and the new pitcher is Richard Blyer, who had some of his best success as a big leaguer right here in this ballpark. Last year with the Marlins, pitched 55 times. He got the win against Nicaragua, Israel's only win in this tournament so far. So Blyer for his 2nd appearance. 1 out, bases empty, and he'll face David Peralta.
He got the win with 9 pitches. Richard Blyer traded to the Red Sox. Matt Barnes. Got to get over.
1 pitch. Dropped the ball. Picks it up. Had a chance to go to the bag. Didn't do it.
Careless mistake right there. Kind of taking his eyes off the ball. See that good feed. A little bit behind him, but definitely if you ask Blair, it's a pitch that it's a catch that he can make.
Yeah, for sure. Got to catch that one.
Well, I've always felt as a first baseman, though, although he did all the right things. If you can always take it by yourself, take it by yourself. Or if not, always underhand. Like, it's very easy to just catch it, stay there and make a throw, but it makes it a lot harder for the pitcher as he's running, having to catch the ball and step on the bag. All you got to do is take a couple steps forward towards the bag and just underhand it. It's a lot easier catch for Blair than anything else, but you ask Blair, I know he can make that play with his sleeve.
Softly hit. Gelof's gonna get the tag. No, he didn't. But the Israel team will turn the double play anyway. They get the out at first. Gelof handled that pretty well. Run until he stops, then go get the out at first. If you still have time, he's already stopped, and you can turn 2. That was well done. So the error didn't matter. Just enough time to get that out at first, and then the tag on Peralta. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. 5-0 Venezuela. Spencer Horwitz for Israel, last of the 6th. And Emmanuel De Jesus still in the game for Venezuela. They lead 5-0. Horwitz 0 for 2. Might have had the biggest hit, though. He and Garrett Stubbs in game 1.
Yeah, they really had a very good plan against Esteban Loaizaga. What a moment for Team Israel. Get that first win.
Yeah, it was the win that they did get here in the World Baseball Classic. The way that it happened makes it very memorable. They were behind, and Nicaragua, which Nicaragua doesn't have a lot of established big league talent on their roster here. The one guy that they had, Jonathan Loaizaga, is one of the great late inning relievers in the game, and they had a lead and got the ball to him late in that game, and Israel came from behind and beat him. And it was a really impressive rally. That's strike 3 called. So Horwitz is called out. They did not finish last because of that head-to-head win against Nicaragua, so they do not have to qualify into the next version of this tournament.
And I think what it does for even a guy like this guy right here, Zagelov, and you know the roster, a lot of young guys. The experience that they had here, I think, will really propel them moving on forward.
I think
he's better. He's also, this guy's better than 0 for 13.
He would like to really fully appreciate the experience of being here. I think he'd like to take a hit back to spring training. Because he hasn't had one.
We're calling it. It's happening.
He's too good to go 0 for 14, 0 for 15.
Little changeup. Oh, good take. That's a good take right there. I mean, you got windows now. You can repeat the changeup. You can throw that back foot slider, or you can go up in the zone, try to sneak one up. That's kind of the go-to right now. You're the Jesus. Slider down and in. He spot himself, I think, a fastball count. Well, you know, the Jesus likes that changeup, but the fastball count is in play right now. So you think fastball up in the zone, think about using the bigger part of the field. Then you might go with changeup, though. Oh, here we go. Oh, number 1.
3-2. It's ball 4.
That's a good at bat right there, huh? Little cat and mouse game. A little soft early, hard late. That's so much fun.
Well, it's not a hit, but it's got to make Zach feel a little bit better.
Quality at bat. That's all you want. Tony Gwynn used to tell me this. He says, hey, Yonder, in 10 at bats, if you can have 7 quality at bats, doesn't mean you're going to get a hit on all of them. Eventually, about 2.5 or 3 of those are going to be knocks. You're going to hit into some bad balls, right? You're going to hit some line drives right at people, may get a walk. More than not, if you can have out of your 10 at bats, so he was basically telling you, you can basically have 3 terrible at bats where you can just give them away. But if you have 7 out of 10, which is just about focus, execution, and swinging at the right pitches, more than not, you're going to find your way on base more often than you would think. Obviously, Tony Gwynn went a whole season with 1 bat, so he certainly did well in that category. I wasn't really all there when it came to my standards of hitting, but
that's a pretty high bar you're going to compare yourself to.
But he would simplify it for you, you know, and that was the beauty of Tony Gwynn. How simplicity was such a major part in his role in his career, and he would try to do that and help me when I was in San Diego about how to simplify things. He said, hey, 1 knock a day, 1 walk a day will do wonders for you. You know, things like that, or 6 hits in a series. You know, in a matter of you get 20 at bats in a series. Well, 6 hits, you can say, hey, I can do that. You always try to, you know, the glass was always half full, not half empty. Oh. That's how he would approach everything.
Well, it's hard enough if you get overly negative about it. It's already hard to hit.
That was Tony, though. He was the first guy ever to tell me, hey, first at bat, just sacrifice yourself. Hit a ground ball to short.
That's painted on the outside corner to get Mervis.
And the reason he would tell me was just basically put me right back into that slot, my slot. I was a guy that liked to use the left center gap. And he would tell me, hey, you're rolling over too many pitches. Maybe the first at bat today, just try to get a base hit the other way, or hit a fly ball to left, or just hit a ground ball to short. They'll get you right where that contact point is at, and then you can go from there. It's in a long season with 500 at bats. You're going to at time try to find yourself in the game. It's not just batting practice or 2 o'clock in the cage doing all your work. Sometimes you got to work on things in the game itself. It's not just about competing. It's about moving on and creating that big wave that can take you to a 2-week period where you're just on fire.
2 down here, and a foul from Brian Lavarnway.
He also said, hey, I don't know how you're doing it. You guys are throwing too hard for me. When velocity was picking up, he said, I don't know how you guys do it. I mean, this is just unfair.
Tony would have figured out a way.
I think so, too. He went a whole year with 1 bat. That's incredible. Think about that.
Never get jammed.
Unbelievable.
Inside.
1-1.
I will go a week with 20 bats. Got jammed 16 times in 1 week.
That's probably a little bit of an exaggeration.
It felt like that.
Yeah.
Tony was unbelievable.
That one got by Chirinos, and he can't find the ball. Goes to the backstop. So Geloff moves to second.
All right, here we go. 2-on knock. See that pitch right there? Get away from him. Chirinos.
It would be fitting if it were Lavarnway, the guy, to get Israel back on the board. It's been a long time since they've gotten a run home.
He definitely crushes lefties. Sees them well throughout his career.
Maybe playing in his final international event for Israel. It's been a decorated career. Not this time. He pops it up. Suarez just in fair territory for out number 3. So a walk and a runner in scoring position, but no runs. On to the 7th in Miami. Venezuela just counting down the outs now till they will play in the quarterfinals. They've already clinched the top spot from this Pool D. Ty Kelly takes over at second base for Israel. Richard Blyer stays in the game on the mound. Hernan Perez gets his second at bat. 3 runs in the first, 1 in the fourth, and 1 in the sixth. A couple of home runs for Venezuela. It'd be interesting to see on the pitching side for this team, because now it's about getting ready to try to win a championship here. No matter what happens, if they finish off this win, and I'm assuming they will, but even if they didn't, they're still the top seed, #1 team coming out of Pool D. German Marquez had to bow out of this opening round because of some nagging injury stuff, but he's talked about trying to get back and get ready, so maybe he could contribute to this team. Jesus Luzardo, the guy we saw on the mound today, the Marlins have not been totally encouraging about allowing him to have a second outing, but maybe perhaps open to, especially considering how well it went today, maybe if they get all the way to the championship game, maybe he would be available to pitch.
I think the starters for me are a little bit more of an easier yes. You always, if you're a team, you're always very concerned about bullpen and the high leverage situations that this tournament allows you or puts yourself into. But you know, even for today, in a day like this, 5-0 ball game where you're counting out the outs, you just need to put in the guys that need the work, right? Just imagine if you're in the middle of a spring training and hey, today, whether you're 5-0, losing, winning or losing, you're going to get your work in. Whether you need to throw a bullpen after the game, you didn't get your work in, or whatever that may be, you got to make sure that you get your work in. But for me, the starters is it's always just been an easier yes, because you can control that a little bit more per se with the pitches.
Marquez pitched in the Cactus League yesterday, pitched 4 innings, apparently came out of it really looking good, feeling good. So I wonder whether the Rockies might say, okay, they're not careful. Strikes out and then might have hurt himself.
I think his cleat got stuck a little bit there. You see this breaking ball right here. Oh, yeah, he got stuck. His cleat got stuck a little bit. Oh, right knee. Those are not fun. No. He'll be fine.
Hope so.
It's Tomas Perez.
Walking away, so that's a good sign.
That's good. Walking away, so. But yeah, I think moving forward, you know, communication is a whole key for, I think it's the most important key for these pitchers and their organizations.
Because to me, for this Venezuelan team, that's kind of the one question looming out there. If Eduardo Rodriguez is not going to be available to pitch, if Luzardo isn't, if Marquez isn't allowed to come here, do they have enough starting pitching to go 3 games against the best in the world? Maybe the answer is yes. Torres hits a high foul.
I would think it would be yes.
Now look, I'm not trying to guilt anybody, but if I were the Marlins, I would be thinking, Jesus Luzardo pitched great today.
He's home.
He's home. Everything's comfortable. And the experience of pitching on a really big stage could be a great one for a young guy.
You know, if there's one guy that, you know, you're home, this is your stadium. I mean, you can have everybody here watching you, doing all the work you need to do. Why not?
Torres goes down against Blyers. 2 outs.
It's a good breaking ball right there. Kind of living on the edges right there. So far, so good. You look at this team, Team Israel. It's been hard to kind of watch how cold they've gone offensively, but pitching in the pitching department, and we've seen some bright spots. Yep. Really good arms.
First pitch swing here from Chirinos to left field. Horwitz coming in, and he never got there. Chirinos hustling, turns that into a double.
And himself a double. Take a look right there. Little 4-seam fastball. Got a little jam in Chirinos. He's smelling a double right there off the bat. Saw Horwitz just kind of give up a little bit on it. I'd like to see a better effort.
Sometimes you wonder whether off the bat, maybe with the Raptors in the backdrop, you don't see the ball clearly.
It happens.
But that was a ball that I think probably should have been caught. Instead, runner in scoring position for Acuna.
Oh no! I need to go. Yeah, you did.
Went around.
See the communication there by Fletcher, the home plate umpire, asking Angel Hernandez, "Hey, did he go?" Angel was all over it.
Angel's got a big strike zone, even if he's the first base umpire.
That's great.
Acuna's 2 for 3 today.
I love me some Angel. Who doesn't?
0-1. Acuna behind first. Not an easy play. Dickerson will get there, juggle it, and make the catch. Alex Dickerson retires Acuna. Had it all the way.
Who's not going to be here? I feel like everybody that's everybody here in Miami is going to be here.
Yeah, I think tonight will be the night.
It'll be that night
to see and be seen. Alex Dickerson coming off his nice catch. Will lead off here in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun.
You think the tailgate parties are already going on?
Absolutely. The Domino's table, 100%. The trumpets, everything.
Yeah.
Maracas everywhere. Yeah, it's happening.
And the way this works here in pool play is you have 2 games a day, but at noon and 7 local time. And so this game ends, and then the ballpark gets cleared out, and a whole new group of fans comes in.
I swear to God, I thought you were going to say the way the outside works on how to party and how to cook and how to eat. I was like, oh, okay.
Give you the breakdown.
Let me know. I like that breakdown.
Yeah, that's a lot more interesting than ticket sales.
Roast a pig.
I mean, if you're going to go big, today would be the day to go big.
Roast a little lechon. Why not?
You and I, we get the day off tomorrow. I would think most of the people coming to the game tonight are just blocking off tomorrow. This is going to be a big call-in sick day around Miami. Out number 1.
Tell you what, man, Jesus has looked. We talk about getting some zeros when they want to preserve that bullpen, right? Get that extra day off. He's done a fantastic job on 36 pitches.
Yep. He's the guy who took Marquez's spot on the roster. So in a game where you've got the lead, you're doing your job, helping everybody else.
Quick innings.
Danny Valencia. Change up.
He's used that change up a lot, especially to the right-handed hitters.
Oh no!
That's another one right there. He's got a really good feel for it. You know, more than not, when you see left-handers and they're on the third base side, they either got a really good two-seamer to front door the right-handers or a good changeup. You see another one there. When the lefties are on the first base side of the mound, they got a really good sweeping slider or a really good four-seam fastball. It's just the way the angles kind of come across, and you know, if you're a three-quarter guy or you're over the top, kind of work with that, where you're landing. If you're going more on a direct path towards home plate, try to go up and in there. That's basically the scenarios of, you know, when I would face lefties in my experience. When they're on the first base side, more than not, they had a really good slider. When they're on the third base side, they had a really good fastball and a really good changeup to go off of that.
Broken bat roller. De Jesus will get over to cover. And a good solid feed, 2 down.
A little firewood there, I think. Talk about the changeups early on in the at-bat. Made a quality fastball pitch right there, especially with 2 strikes. I mean, that's tough.
That's the entire tournament, the World Baseball Classic. Only Japan with a better team earned run average. And it goes without saying, I mean, this is not to take away from what Japan's done, but the level of competition for Venezuela has been much higher.
That's impressive right there. And to know, not even a knock on Puerto Rico, but that's good. That's just as good too.
Yeah!
On the ground and a fair ball behind first. Suarez. De Jesus didn't get there. Too late. Well, Mendlinger hustling, and he's going to get himself a hit.
See Suarez right there making the catch, doing everything possible. Good running feed on him. I think De Jesus just chopped up his steps a little bit too much there. Oh, there we go. That's what happened. Kind of was going a little half-fast on it. He beat it all the way.
He did. A nice hustle there.
Good job.
So now Wilansky. Hey, we should point out, by the way, that Eugenio Suarez, that's a base hit to knock for Wilansky. He's had 3 good at bats today in that number 9 spot in the order. Eugenio Suarez in the big leagues and in the minor leagues has never played first base in a game.
Huh. Look at him now.
That's a lot of games.
Yeah. Well, usually if you're playing third base, you can play first base. You can play the corners. You know what I like about this right here, though? 2 outs, first and second, and Escobar is just he's the coach right now. He's doing the meetings, called times, said, all right, hey, everybody gather up here. That's what I like. That's a veteran team right there. We don't need a coach. We don't need a mound visit. Let me just, we call time. And that's leader on the infield right there. One of the older guys saying, okay, timeout, timeout. Let's not let this get out of hand here. Let's do the things we need to do.
So Escobar and Suarez kind of leading the way there with that meeting, just to make sure. Look, I mean,
I like that.
You got Jacob Goldfarb coming up here. Left on left, but a guy's got a little power. Venezuela's been kind of cruising along here since the early innings.
Little airplane mode right now.
You don't want to make one mistake and then all of a sudden have to scramble and fight at the end of this game.
I agree.
Goldfarb swings and misses. So I think you're right. Good little reset there.
I like that Lopez, you know, he didn't have a pitching coach go over there and talk to the guys. No, he just kind of let that take its place.
You've noticed that about the manager for Venezuela. Very
he's been fantastic.
Relaxed.
Yeah. Look at him right there.
Good demeanor for an event like this. Oh, 2. That one's lined down into right center field. That's going to be a base hit. Coming around third is Benlinger. He will score. Now Goldfarb's got to scramble to get back. He does, and Israel's got themselves a run.
Oh, there's that run right there. All started with an infield single. It's a good breaking ball down in the zone. Look how he stays on this pitch, though. Two-hand finish. I love lefties that finish with 2 hands. There's nothing better than that. Staying through the baseball, being short. Everybody's running. That's fun right there.
That's their first run since their first game. A long time coming. And I think you're right. You got to credit Noah Benlinger hit a ground ball and just hustled his tail off and turned it into a hit.
With 2 outs.
With 2 outs and nobody on, down 5 runs. Now, who knows? An extra base hit, and Israel might feel like they're right back in the game. And a tough day for Spencer Horwitz.
Well, it's certainly a nice hole on the right side. See that good fastball away right there.
Another quick 0-2 count.
And he's gone 0-2 with curveballs down in the zone. Does he stay with the fastball away? Does he go more with a sweeper? I would go fastball away. I think that's the pitch.
Went with the fastball and missed well off the outside.
He could use his aggressiveness right now. A moment like this, 1st and 3rd. Horwitz wants to be that guy. Sometimes you, as a pitcher, you can sense that.
Got it with the fastball. Israel gets a run. DeJesus limits the damage. We go to the 8th. Just about the perfect combination to hit a home run. I think 26-degree launch angle, if you hit it 105 plus, is maybe like the absolute ideal home run launch angle.
Is it?
So he about nailed it.
I would always tell guys, you don't have to hit it 500 feet. You just got to hit it 401. You got to hit it 336. Just enough to get it over. That's all that matters. And you never get enough of it. No matter what, however far they go. I never got enough of it. There's still a little more in there.
You can't admit that you got all of it. Josh Wolf, the new pitcher for Israel, after Israel gets a run. First time in a long while that they run across. Rengifo unloaded on one, but foul. Turned himself into a good player, Luis Rengifo.
Yeah, I got the opportunity. And he's been fantastic with the Angels.
He's definitely a player that quarterfinals, semis, championship game, you can mix and match with him. He can play different positions.
I think that's the biggest key right there. Playing different positions is ideal. Where every team has that hybrid guy, but a guy like him, play the outfield, play the infield. That's crucial.
Because Omar Lopez is as calm and cool as he's been here in pool play. Elimination games, you got to manage a little bit differently.
With urgency.
That doesn't mean your demeanor has to change, but
there's urgency, no question. We'll see that today, I think, in today's game.
Yeah.
In the later game.
I agree.
I mean, in the first, second innings, we're going to see a little bit more small ball than usual. Guys taking more risk. Oh my goodness.
Eugenio Suarez.
Pitch and duck.
Just locked in. I'm telling you, man, he wants some MVP votes.
Oh my goodness. His lower half is so quiet. I mean, this is just a 3-wood right here. His lower half, how explosive it is. Look how tight it is with his back elbow, how he stays through that baseball. Yep. Oh my. What a swing. Boy, if he can keep that approach, you know, the line drive approach, the middle of the field approach, where at times he would get a little pull happy, barrel will fall underneath a little bit during the year. I mean, if he keeps that approach right there, oh my. Heads up.
Foul ball hitter! Foul ball hitter!
I'll see him in Seattle.
That last one off his bat at 105. So he's hit 3 balls 100 miles an hour plus in this game.
What a payload. Good extension of the hair right there.
Plus he's got the earring. If you can't see his jersey, you can identify who he is just by the earring.
The earring, the halo. That's
he's got the style.
He's got his style. Authentic.
Just a really good player.
It's just one thing we've seen in this tournament, especially in this Pool D, is their styles. I mean, look at that 7 right there, huh? Hey.
And look, for Venezuela, I think it's been fun. Salvi Perez, Jose Altuve, Ronald Acuna, but Suarez and Santander, 2 guys maybe the casual baseball fan doesn't know that much about.
Peralta.
David Peralta is another one of those.
These are guys that when you play during the regular year, you highlight. Say, all right, these guys can't beat you. Santander, 33 home runs. Peralta, who's always been a great hitter with the Diamondbacks. Eugenio Suarez, big numbers with the Reds, big numbers with Seattle. And these are guys that, regular season, the players know, okay, 2 o'clock, the meetings start. These are the guys that we got to highlight. They can't beat us.
Josh Wolf bounces that one in the dirt.
Talked to Peralta earlier in the tournament, asked him about now being with the Dodgers. He says, it's just you understand why they win. The system they have involved there, the way they go about their business, as professional as it gets, nothing to take away from Arizona. The Dodgers wearing that uniform's kind of like the Yankees uniform. When a player puts it on, it just feels a little heavier.
He's looking like a guy who's going to contribute for LA. Now with the left center, and he hit it hard. Goldfarb over, and Horwitz will catch it, and Goldfarb goes sliding behind him. All's well that ends well. Middle 8th. Venezuela with a 5-1 lead. All right, last of the 8th. Israel running out of outs. Their final game of this World Baseball Classic. They will not be advancing on. Venezuela will be as the top team out of this incredibly deep Pool D. Ian Kinsler's talked about how this can be a measuring stick for baseball in Israel, because last World Baseball Classic they won 4 games, and they beat Korea, which was really impressive. They had Taiwan in their pool. It's not like they didn't play some teams that have some good baseball players, but this has been a whole different animal for them.
Upside.
Sure has been.
Ty Kelly, his first at bat of the day.
I
Inside.
just love how Ty Kelly, he does the same thing. More than not a switch hitter, always have their gimmicks, lefty or righty. But look at his hands right there, how he takes the bottom hand out of the bat.
Come on.
Hitting coach and Kevin Youkilis, he had a very different stance.
Yes, he did.
Now we're seeing Ty Kelly here with a little foul tip.
Ouch.
Left rib right there for him.
It's always a relative question. The hitter asks the catcher, "You good?" It's like, well,
yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll let you know. Like, they'll let you. I need a second here. Yeah, they've taken some hits, but hey, I need some time here. Here's, Ty Kelly with the hand off right there. Look how he just does that. Does it left-handed as well. Just kind of irritating. Just overthinking the, hey, top hand, top hand, top hand.
Pulls that one foul.
Change it right there.
So Jesus has thrown 55 pitches. I mean, he's done a really nice job here.
Look at a team of Israel, 8 hits today.
Bullpen activity for Venezuela. 8 hits. Yeah, that matches their total from the tournament. 3 games combined. Kelly to center field, 1 away. So look, is that going to be much consolation? Probably not much consolation, but they had better at bats today.
Yeah.
Against 2 good pitchers. I mean, especially the starter Luzardo. They got 4 hits against Luzardo. There's Kevin Youkilis.
What a hitter, huh?
He really was. He was in a lot of ways. I mean, it's not like there hadn't been players. And maybe in some ways he got unfairly spotlighted because of the book Moneyball, because he was a big part of that book. How he didn't look the part. He wasn't like a superstar athlete with great tools. But the A's valued him so much because he knew the strike zone unlike almost any other hitter.
Well, he led the league in pitches seen. Almost. There was a streak there where he had it like it was 3 or 4 years in a row.
He was the right guy for the right time. As the game was starting to appreciate that more and more.
Oh no!
That's when Kevin Youkilis
Appreciated walks, on base percentage. Played really good defense, as you see there with a Gold Glove.
He's in the Red Sox Hall of Fame. He won 2 World Series rings. 3 times he was an All-Star. Had a great postseason track record.
Yeah, but look at that, 382 on base percentage in 10 years.
Yeah.
That's what Kevin Youkilis was.
That's it. That was his
382, man.
In the book, I think his nickname was the Greek god of walks.
That's insane. I mean, to put it into a simpler term, right? So anything over 340, 335, that and around that range, that's pretty good. At 380. And when you look at a slugger, right? Anybody that slugs over 500, that's incredible, right? That's elite. Elite is 380 on base percentage.
Yeah, for a career especially.
10 years.
Yeah, that's a long career of getting on base. And I think he's enjoyed being the hitting coach for this team. I know Ian Kisler's talked a lot about having Brad Ausmus next to him as a bench coach, having Jerry Narron, having Youkilis. There's just a lot of baseball knowledge and experience in that dugout. And it's made Ian's first managerial stint, he says, really valuable. He says even from game 1 here to game 4, he's nervous, strikes out.
They eat them up today with sliders and breaking balls all day. You see another one right here. The slider. Not much he can do with that. Hasn't really made the adjustments needed. I'll tell you what, De Jesus did a phenomenal job today, preserving that bullpen for Venezuela.
Really good job. I got some Kevin Youkilis on base numbers for you when we come back. You ready for those?
Would love to.
Okay, don't go anywhere. 8th inning in Miami. The first of 2 games today. All of us are so looking forward to tonight. We've had a competitive game here. Venezuela has done a lot of the same things they did in their first 3 wins here in Pool D. All right, I promised you a couple more Kevin Youkilis numbers. We gave you the career numbers. 2019 on base average 413 for the year. 2010 on base average for the year 411.
Oh my God! I mean, that's like going to the field every day, getting 5 at bats and being on base twice
every single day for a year.
Oh my goodness! Well, listen, we talked about his batting stance, and take a look at his rockets. Not just his walks and his on-base percentage numbers, but this guy could absolutely mash. There was not one pitch he didn't like. It was a very short career with the Yankees there, but for me, I see him as a Boston Red Sox.
Yes, you should. Now, I would have been really impressed with our tape room if we included in that package him taking up all 4. Just
that would have been
taking a close pitch.
Great.
All these swings and highlight. You don't include a walk in a highlight video very often, but it was such a big part of who he was. And he grinded down pitchers. I mean, he was a great teammate because everybody else in the lineup for the Red Sox benefited from the way he hit.
I agree. Andrés Briceno.
Oh, should we introduce the new pitcher?
Yeah, 2021 Atlantic League reliever of the year. Big arm, big right-hander, 6'5", 175 pounds. Take a look at this ERA. Think that's any good right there?
Yeah.
Briseño was unbelievable. 5-0 with a .76. 47 innings, 73 strikeouts. You know what that tells me? He's got a good fastball and a good slider.
And he parlayed that into a deal with the Diamondbacks. So the Diamondbacks are going to give him a chance. His job here, though, is to try to get 4 outs and finish this game. Briseño takes a strike.
That's a good fastball right there. Good 2-seamer.
It was a real bummer for Venezuela that Ranger Suarez couldn't pitch in this World Baseball Classic. Briseño's the guy who took his spot. Ranger Suarez is great. Three-2 to Lavarnway. Foul. I have to say, as much as I think this is a cool moment for Briseño to get in a World Baseball Classic game, I'm kind of pulling for Ryan Lavarnway. It's possible this will be his final international at bat for Israel. It would be cool for him to get a hit to finish that. It's not a sure thing, but
he's 1 for 3 today, but definitely a hit right now, and possibly his last game. That's pretty cool.
Had a good swing. Guys probably had more big hits for Israel in their team competitions than anybody between the Olympics and the World Baseball Classic last time. He and Kevin Youkilis might have overlapped. Maybe?
No.
Lavarnway's too young.
I think so. That's a good walk. Wasn't a hit, but it was a walk. Kevin Youkilis would agree.
So 2 out base runner. Lavarnway is aboard. They did overlap, by the way.
They did.
I had Kevin check for us.
What do we got?
2011, 2012 in Boston together.
Huh. Oh, 1.
Nice. Every once in a while. I know what I'm talking about.
The legend.
Alex Dickerson.
I wasn't sure.
Takes the ball.
That's a good change right there.
Alex is still trying to find a baseball home for the upcoming season. I hope he does. Pop up. Will it be playable? Suarez has it. On to the 9th inning we go. 5-1. That's the Venezuelan lead. Yeah, it's just been a nice mix of the patient at bats early in the game, and then with the lead, the 2 long balls. Strike 1 to Luis Ariz. Bubby Rossman, his second appearance here in the World Baseball Classic, pitched a scoreless inning against the Dominican Republic.
Really good fastball, can touch 100 at times. Really good breaking ball off of that.
Oh.
It's on pitch yesterday.
Took one in back-to-back days. A rise to center field. Goldfarb, one away. This will be Luis Ariz's new home ballpark here in Miami. And I think his style of hitter, he's going to find hitting a fly ball to that part of the ballpark probably isn't going to be his best avenue for success. Uh-oh. You hit a home run and then the home run song.
That's just the beauty of this tournament.
I love it.
I mean, if you can't enjoy that, I don't. That's the flavor. That's the blood. That's just, you know, the soul of where these guys are from. That's what it's all about. That's coming out right there.
Suarez, that sounded like he had a good singing voice.
Yeah, he was on it. Had a good rhythm. That's the cat. Heads up.
All right, it's a real thing.
He does not like cats.
That was quite a reaction.
Oh, it's been known he does not like cats. Look at him look back just in case. He's messing with me.
I mean, I understand snakes and spiders, but cats?
Doesn't like them. I don't know. Just doesn't like them. I mean, it's a 5-1 game, and it feels like they're just. It feels like it's 15-1. The way they're just kind of hanging. Look at Altuve right there. Peralta, Alvarado. Good to see Altuve. Usually he's kind of, you know, a little more serious. Good to see him with his people having a little fun, huh? Rossman over here just challenging him. Challenging Perez. You go, big boy. Get your heater.
It's a big guy on the mound.
Out of all the uniforms in this tournament, you know, Puerto Rico's got some really nice ones. Dominican has some really nice ones, but Team Israel's got some pinstripe.
They do.
Nice. The party's still going. Sold out tickets. Oh.
Right on the corner. I didn't notice Hernan Perez dancing back to the dugout.
There's Miggy right there, still going at it.
Hey, when you're the captain, I guess you fight for your teammates.
Fighting for his teammates, all right.
Everybody else is pretty laid back in there, and Cabrera's barking at the umpire.
He's still at it. Miggy was talking to us this morning, and you know, they skipped like 2 rounds, and he was supposed to hit, and they were asking him to hit. He's like, I'm okay. We were just talking. Then he gets in there in the 3rd round, and he hits all 5 swings, line drives to right center on a bullet. And it was like, oh, okay, he's good. We're all right.
There's your VP.
Oh, no.
There's your VP. What else you want?
Now we're giving lessons. To right field, Gleyber Torres. Dickerson all the way back. Just enough room for out number 3. 3 more outs, a few more beats to go before we're done here in Miami. New pitcher, and perhaps the final pitcher of the day for Venezuela, Darwinson Hernandez, left-hander. Just briefly got up to the Red Sox last year. Most of his year was in AAA. Venezuela's already into the quarterfinal round. They've already locked up the top spot here in Pool D, just trying to finish off another win and go 4-0 and sweep through what was almost unanimously considered the toughest pool in this World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, and I think for Venezuela today, it's just been automatic. I mean, got the lead early. First inning, that 3-run start, and then after that, they just kind of never looked back. Really good pitching, though. Zardo was fantastic. De Jesus was unbelievable.
He threw 63 pitches and 3 2/3 innings of relief today to help make this a stress-free day for the Venezuelan pitching staff. Danny Valencia and Israel, their last cracks here.
Yeah, De Jesus was really, really good. Luzardo, I mean, it's been all left-handers today for the Venezuelan staff.
It's true. Almost all.
Oh, Briseño.
He got 1 out.
Yeah, 1 out.
0-2 to Danny Valencia.
It's a good fastball right there. Now that's one thing that Venezuela has done. You talk about these guys going to work early, and it's just been, hey, here it is. You see it, you grip it, you rip it. Not fooling around a whole lot. 5-1 lead. Why should you?
Outside.
Well, it is going to be interesting. We will be watching. Obviously, you and I will be here for what is one of the more highly anticipated games, I think, in the history of the World Baseball Classic tonight here in Miami, Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic. And then we'll watch tonight out in Phoenix. Today, tonight, that strike 3 call. They got Mexico and Canada. That game is going to start shortly. And the result of that game, combined with the result from USA Colombia, will determine who Venezuela is going to play in the quarterfinals.
So there's a possibility that they can play USA.
Correct. If Mexico beats Canada,
right,
and the U.S. beats Colombia, then the U.S. would be the 2 team, the
right,
number 2 team out
and
of
they
that
would play Venezuela.
Correct.
On Friday.
There's a strange tiebreaker scenario if Colombia were to pull the upset, that Colombia could come here to Miami. But assuming that that doesn't happen, assuming that USA beats Colombia today, which I think they're a heavy favorite, then the only question for Venezuela is if Canada wins, Venezuela plays Canada. Mexico wins, Venezuela plays the Americans.
Wow. Wow. That's going to be fun.
And if the United States is the top team, if Canada beats Mexico and the USA comes here to Miami as the top team from that pool,
they'll play Cuba.
They will play. No, they will play the winner of tonight's game, Puerto Rico,
gotcha,
Dominican Republic.
Oh my!
Which would be a heck of a game too. One hopper toward the hole. It's short, and Mendlinger has his 3rd hit of the game. Well done.
Three for 4 for the day. Using his speed all day, basically. See a left-hander, left on left there, trying to stay through that baseball. There was no chance at all.
No chance.
Perez did the wise thing right there after peeking over.
Picked the best defensive shortstop in the game. No chance.
No.
So Noah Mendlinger, hey, 3-hit game against Venezuela in the World Baseball Classic for a young guy who's played an A ball.
He'll take that with him forever.
Michael Wielansky, who came into this game having not had many at bats in this World Baseball Classic. He's gone 2 for 3 today. I hope that everybody on Team Israel can come out of this with fond memories of the experience, even though,
and I would think so.
I know they had aspirations to win more than just one game.
I would think they're proud and a lot to look forward to. Baseball in that country is bright. I think the future is very, very bright.
Oh no!
I think part of that can be the momentum of, okay, we had a really good 2017. Come here against much different level of competition in 2023, but found some positives. Convince some other players who are eligible to play for Israel. Hey, this was a good experience. Come join us next time. Wielansky,
a very well prepared team as well. That's important. Very good staff.
You can sell your players on, look, we're going to give you all the info you need to succeed. We got experienced baseball folks. And you don't have to qualify. You know you're in next time.
Yep.
Last chance here, last out. Venezuela 1 out away from an undefeated run through Pool D. Just take second base. Olfarb knocked in the only run of the game. He's also drawn a walk.
Took a breaking ball with 2 strikes.
Hits that one to center field. Acuna going back. He'll square up. Acuna makes a catch. Very, very impressive. Venezuela. We didn't know if it was really going to be possible to go 4 games without a loss with this group of teams. They go 4-0 and did it with some style.
Well, 10 hits on 5 runs. They were electric today. Just 1 run for Team Israel. Well, Team Venezuela, 3 runs in that first inning. And after that, they were never looking back. A very good start by Luzardo's 4 innings, 4 hits, 5 strikeouts. De Jesus, 3 2/3 with another 5 strikeouts. Just an impressive win. A lot of good plays. More importantly, though, these guys are moving on as the #1 seed.
They were dancing in the dugout while the game was going on. Imagine what's going to happen now back in that clubhouse. That's a happy group and an impressive group. Israel's World Baseball Classic is over. Venezuela moves on, and now we look ahead tonight, 7 Eastern. You will not want to miss it. Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic, a rematch of the 2013 championship game. It's going to be something. For Yonder Alonso and our crew, Dave Fleming saying so long. Thanks for watching this presentation of the World Baseball Classic.